All right, I'm back. So the second request was on my direct message was to help with placing a foil correctly to help them from sliding. There is a technique that I teach in our technical training classes. My Hair Color Magic trainers are amazing and know all of this. So if you want some hands-on classes, you can go to haircolormagic.net and check out our technical classes, and you'll be able to physically do these and then have them watch you and they can give you hands-on tips. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is whenever you're doing a foil, the finer the parting is, the better. As a rule, especially when I'm microweaving, what I'll do is I'll look how thin and how fine that parting is. And it's almost like I want to make sure that I see all the lines in my fingers through this. So what I do is I'll pull this tight and I have a lot of tension. I'm not leaning on the foil below it. I'm holding this tight. And for a microweave, I'll demo a microweave first. What I'm doing is I'm actually, the pintail is on the scalp and I'm zigzagging on the scalp. So you can see how fine and thin this is. And the movement, let me show you what the movement is. It's almost like a zigzag, a tiny zigzag at the scalp. It's like I'm tickling her scalp, just like that. So I'll clip this back so that I'm in control. And the clips that I use to clip hair onto the foil are very lightweight. These are star clips. This is a very important tip because these clips here, let me grab one. The duckbill clips like this is too heavy, and if you clip on here, it's going to move the product out of the way, and it's heavy, so it could drag your foils down. So if you're clipping on your foils, make sure it's a lightweight clip. And I do love to push this hair away, and I just clip on the corner. So it's a lightweight clip, it's not going to pull my foil down. So I'll pull this down, and here I go. And the movement that I'm using for this is, before I put the foil in, I want you to see the profile of this. So this is what it's going to look like underneath the foil. You won't see this if the foil's in the way. So I'll pull the hair and almost have so much tension on that, and as I'm pushing the foil up into the hair, I'm actually pulling the hair down. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a softer root area. And it's a great technique to do if you do back combing. So here I go. I'm going to push the foil and I'm taking it to the scalp. So to get closer to the scalp, I'll press with my pintail comb just to get that bubble out if you do comb, foil over comb. And then grab your product. I'll apply my product horizontally, like so. Pick up some more. And then I'll work it back and forth to make sure that I have really great saturation. And as you notice, there's nothing really close to the root just yet. I want to make sure that this is all done. And I'll tap lightly with some enlightener. Okay, then I'll pull this up. Now, one of the techniques that I do is I'll take it just below the hair where I know the bleach is, where the enlightener is, and I'll just real lightly push it up to the root. So now I know I pushed some product through there. Holding this lightly between my finger, crease that with the comb. Around the hairline, I normally will do 2 folds. So here's my first fold, here's my second fold. I'll place my comb right where I see the hair in that subsection. I'll hold this down with my teeth of the comb. I'll gently put my fingers behind that fold I just did, and if you watch, I'll put my teeth inside and I'll just kick that corner up so that has that little crease. What I'm doing is I'm sealing that on to the foil. I don't crease this side because it's going to be terrible. You will not get them out. It'll take a long time. That way, if I need to move this foil around, this crease is going to keep it from moving. So that would be what holds your foil into the plate, into its spot. It will not move. So let's take another party and we'll do one more. And I'll just do a regular fine weave effect this time. We'll do 10 to 12 weaves in a foil. So let's do this. So I'm going to take my parting. Now team, this has nothing to do with an effect because I'm working horizontally up into her hairline, which I would never do. So I don't want you to pay attention to that. I just want you to pay attention to the technique and the folding of the foil. So here we go. Now I'm going to take a stronger weave effect. I always weave close to the scalp so that I could pick up hair that is solid versus weaving out here because all this could have texture. I'm going to clip this out of the way for control. Grab my foil. I put my foil over the comb. I don't care how you do it. It doesn't matter to me. Pull this up. Drag it down. And again, I'll do it again. I'm pulling this up and this is the motion. Drag it down. Get the little bump out from that pintail comb being inside of the foil. Then apply your bleach. I'm using Enlightener 20 volume. And I'm not taking it quite to the root just yet. Here we go. I'm going to make sure it's really nice and saturated. If you're not sure if it's saturated, all you have to do is lift this up. If you see silver foil through that application, which I can, that means you're going to have a shadow that's underneath it. All right. So here we go. Make sure it's saturated. I'm going to take my brush vertically and roll it back and forth. Roll it back and forth. Roll it back and forth, making sure that it's really nice and saturated. I'll keep adding product until I know it's really saturated evenly. And whenever you're using any type of bleach, you want to make sure it's the same saturation so that you get the same amount of lift. Okay, it's saturated. I'll tap a little bit closer to the root area. As I fold up, I'll grab some of that Enlightener and lightly push it into that area. My fingers, I'm using these 3 fingers underneath. You can see that. Crease that around the hairline. I'll go up one more time. I'll put my pintail teeth right where the section is, or subsection, you can call it either. Fold that over. My fingers are gently underneath that. Push that up and lock it in. Slide gently. I never push down. If you can see how round that is, that's how fat. I make sure that I don't touch the product. When I do this, it's very light. So I always do that. It's just a habit. And then push on that side. Do not lock this side because it'll take too long for you to put it down, take it down. If you only want to do one fold up like this, you totally could. So this is how it would look. You would hold here, slide, and bring this one over, and then you would have more of a long foil with that crease. This one is the short foil with the crease. I'll do all the hairline around the back, hairline through the front with the short foils. Everything else I'll work with a long foil, only so that I don't spend a lot of time. The more you fold your foils, the longer it takes. All right, so this is a fast way. Just push that little lock mechanism in there so that your foils don't slip, and you should have security. Have a good time. Foil on.